and so that's the other reason why we, landlords need to, stop bragging about these profits that they're not making, because tenants see that and they look at you as a target. The minute you have money, people look at you as a target.
Just for the listener, I think they need to appreciate that. If I recommend the book many times, The Millionaire Next Door. The Millionaire Next Door is generally a very private person.
Yes.
Like 9 out of 10 times they're private. They do not drive brand new luxury vehicles.
Correct.
I have some clients that do, but it's rare, and it's because they're really, really successful.
Yep.
Right. But they don't post about it on their social media.
Correct.
Right. So anyone who does, typically they're marketing something. They're selling something. So that would be the path I would recommend for most landlords. Is you remain quite private, or at least keep your profiles private.
Yes.
Right. Only share with your friends.
Yep.
Don't let your tenants see what you have.
Correct.
Because you could end up like you.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the thing. So like, short of my car, which I'll add, I bought as a pre-owned car. Yeah. I paid the equivalent of a brand new Kia for that car. Right? But the big fancy badge on the front tells people that I must be, doing very well. Yeah. No, I bought a pre-owned car on a brand that has a really hard depreciation curve, and so I won on that.
And you generally dress well.
And
you're always well. Your hair's done. Your beard's always trimmed. Like you look very presentable.
Yes, but I'm not in a suit, and I'm not wearing a big Rolex watch and whatnot.
But he's made all these assumptions about you.
But he's made a lot of assumptions about me. So my Instagram and my Facebook and all that sort of stuff is private. I don't post a lot. I try to
because you have to. You're a
because
manager.
I have to. Yeah.
I was just on your Instagram, and you're very private about it.
Yeah.
Which I can understand why you have to be.
And it's because
I said LinkedIn, right? I was on your LinkedIn, and you're very private about it, which I can understand why you need to be.
Yeah. But most landlords, especially early on in the business, they feel like they have to be influencers. It's like, we're not influencers.
Yeah. They're doing that to raise money, though.
They're doing it to raise money, right? And there's probably a little bit of ego
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Associated.
It can be done right. It can be done well.
Yeah.
Like there's some influencers who are really good at raising money and have good businesses.
Correct.
Right. They don't have structural vacancy in their portfolio.
Yeah, exactly.
In the tune of 30%.
I think a lot of people go into the industry and they want to be Grant Cardone. You're not going to be Grant Cardone. Like, he posts every day on his jet and his Lamborghini and all that sort of stuff. You can fake a jet, you can fake a Lamborghini. I was like, yeah, I faked both, and I made a post about it. Yes. You can rent a jet.
You can fake the posts.
Yeah.
But I'm like a lightning rod for Grant Cardone because for some reason, if someone doesn't like Grant, it always comes to me. So behind the scenes, when I went down to Miami to meet with Grant, I was down there for a couple days to meet with his team and hang out in his office and meet Grant and his family and whatnot. When the camera's on, we all know what he's like with the camera on. When the camera's not on, complete Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
Very kind, complimentary, generous with his time. You talk to his employees. I spent a couple days with one of his VPs, one of his first employees.
Yeah.
And the general vibe is everyone really likes Grant.
Yeah.
Right. And his investors like him.
Yeah.
Because he makes them money.
Yeah.
And then people, like anyone who wants to become an influencer, understand. You make people money, they will like you.
Yes.
You lose them money, you are a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So do not lose people's money.
Yeah.
So end of the day, people might not like Grant's social media. Yeah. I can get that. I totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the people that matter the most really like him.
Yeah.
And that's way more important than being likable on social media and losing people's money.
Correct. Well, and that's the thing. So they look at his social media and they try to copy that.
Yeah.
Well,
fake it till you make it.
You fake it till you make it. And also, your tenants are going to see that. I mean, look at the backlash that, the tenants in Hamilton had against the Northern Ontario group. Yeah. Because, you go out into the world and you're saying, I'm a wonderful investment person and I'm making so much money. Yeah. And the people who live in your buildings
are
going...
these yachts and these private jets.
Right?
Doing bottle service at VIP, whatever.
Hosting large conferences and saying, look at how wonderful I am. I'm making hand over fist on these investors. Well, I guess he wasn't now.
Get haters.
Right? But also, these
your
tenants...
building doesn't have water?
The building,
months,
exactly.
You are going to have haters.
You're going to have a lot of haters, but you're also inviting the haters in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not making hand over fist on my tenants.
Yeah.
And if they see my content, I don't want them to be saying, hey, I'm paying Adam $1,500 in rent, and he's telling this guy on the internet that he's making tens of thousands of dollars.
Flying away to the Caribbean on a private jet.
And then I wonder why, and then they wonder why their delinquency is so high or why they're getting hate mail. It's like, well, you invited it. If you're going to go out and tell the world that you're a wonderful millionaire, and then meanwhile you're crushing and you're taking advantage of these poor tenants, it's kind of hand in hand. Like you brought it on yourself. So no, I'm very private. I'm very vocal. I've told you straight up, I'm not making money on my portfolio. Like,
I appreciate being so transparent.
And I believe that most landlords are in the same boat. You can
if you're in Ontario,
if you're in Ontario, you can fudge your numbers. I can sit here and be like, yeah, my building in Simcoe cash flow is $6,000, and you go, oh, that's really good.
Yeah, you get a lot of them. They have no way to verify.
There's no way to verify it. Well, yeah, no, it does. It makes $6,000.
Which is part of this fake to make a formula. People can't. There's so many things that people are saying you can't verify.
You can't verify.
Right.
And I mean, it is true. My building makes $6,000 a month. My expenses are $5,000, $6,000. Like
people, these folks make people on these yachts and jets. They're probably rented, and also they're probably financed by other people's
money. Yeah,
what they've lent them, money they borrowed.
And
the ironic pay that back at one point.
The ironic thing is, the biggest people who have fallen are also the biggest people who took other people's money, but will also living the biggest. The ones that aren't falling, the ones who are holding their shit together, never once did all of the braggadocious stuff. If you saw someone the people who are posting about eating in fancy restaurants and sitting in private jets and doing all, eating their fancy steaks and posting about that stuff, those are the people that are in trouble right now.
Yeah, those are usually red flags for me.
Those are the red flags. And those are the people who borrowed all the other people's money. The people who are like me and the other people who are still going to make it and get through this, I have never once posted about me eating a Wagyu steak or sitting in a private jet or flying first class or whatever. I also think they're poor wastes of money anyways. Like I am never once going to pay for a first class flight.
There's a time and place for it.
Yeah.
Like if, for example, if your investments are paying people dividends, for example, it's really hard to fake cash flow.
Yes.
Like you are actually, money's going out the door regularly. Because like the classic Warren Buffett dividend paying strategy, right?
Yeah.
You buy stock in a company that's been paying dividends for 30 years. That is next to impossible to fake.
Yeah, no,
right.
But
that's
the thing.
If you're like
that's
that,
time, yeah.
If your people are all paid and getting their regular money, go ahead and enjoy a Wagyu steak. I'd be happy for you, right? Because that means all your bills are paid, everyone's happy with you. That's awesome. Go enjoy yourself.
All those people have less than 10 years in investments, into investments. If you're eating Wagyu steak and you're north of 10 years, I'll give it to you, right? But all the people that are falling now, all the people who are doing all those posting, they have never gone through their first cycle, right? It's very easy to make money in 2022. There was a lot of investors like, I bought it a month ago and I made 50 grand. It's like, no, it wasn't you. That wasn't your smart brilliance. That's just the market moving forward. So the people,
all these accidental millionaires.
Yeah, that was what it was. The peak of the market, people became accidental millionaires. Now the smart ones, like myself,
no one projected this.
Yeah.
Like, no one projected we'd have all these accidental millionaires. Like people put their money in the way of what they thought would, we'd have appreciation and all those sorts of things. But yeah, no one in their wildest dreams thought the market would have gone up this much.
No, and that's why when people were saying, oh, Adam, you're doing really well, it's like, no, hold the phone. No, we're in an isolated environment. I'm going to make money while the sun's shining. Absolutely. I'm going to try and flip these properties over as much as I can, and so that way I can get to a stable point.